Hey guys, it's Robin, RsIslandCrafts. Welcome to my craft room. Now I know I mentioned last week that we were all done with these half square triangles and with the string blocks, but you know, in Robin fashion, I just had to come back for one more thing. During my Talk to Me Tuesday and my Whip It Wednesday, I did show you how I was going to be setting up this baby quilt. I thought I would just pop in this week with a quick little video and show you how I put these together, and then afterwards I'll show you what the finished quilt looks like. So here's a little quick overview, but you can't see very much, of course. I'm going to have to show you from a distance. So let me pull this out of the way. And you've seen the blocks and what they're going to look like. So let me just show you how I put them together. I've already shown you the half square triangles. Whoops. So the only thing I did is I took two of them and I spun them around, so I made a little mountain going up this way. And a little mountain going this way. I made two piles like this. I stitched, oh look, that one's got a nice little, with the little black in there. That would actually look kind of cool, because then it would have, oh man, if I'd have had one more with the black on there, I'm a missed opportunity. Look, I got lucky. I had one more left. Well, I had two sewn together, and I just split them apart, and now I can have one with an X. Now, of course, it's going to be, oh, I really like that. It's going to be one with an X inside the quilt, but that's okay. It's going to be that one special block. So that's a really good idea. Look at the way it makes those nice little squares. I really like this idea. This one's good. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and sew these two together, and then these two together, which will give me one of these, but much cooler. Look at the difference. Let me go ahead and stitch these together so we can see what they look like. Okay, this is all stitched together, and it turned out really fun because, well, if I'd have switched these around a little bit, but these two ended up coming together, so it has that gray right there, and all of these fabrics are the same, and then I have my X, because this is Dora here, and Cupcakes, and the puppy, so it's just the way it worked out. It would have been really nice to have, it would have been really fun to have, I can say words today. I enjoy this black X going through here, especially since it matches my background fabric, and I like that it has gray here. I think if you did your blocks in a certain way, your string blocks, to where each block had a specific color family, like you did all blues or all reds or all greens, that would be really fun. It's also fun if this was black and then gray, and maybe you had a red and a yellow. That would be really fun, because that almost looks like a flower, like a tulip there at the beginning of it. So this worked out really well. I really like this, and I'm going to try really hard not to go ahead and make more string blocks just so I can make this design. You can also spin this, and if you like putting your quilts together on point, it can look like this. So that way you have more of the plus sign with the squares looking like this, or this way, then you have the X. You can do the same thing with these blocks. You can have it straight like that. Or if you go ahead and put it on point, then you have blocks. I haven't mastered putting a quilt on point. I've done it once, and I had to really carefully follow directions really strongly to make sure I was getting it all right. So it wasn't really that fun for me. You guys know I kind of like just to wing things and just to go through the process and see what comes out of it. Like this. That was a really great surprise that I had never planned or never thought that it would turn out like this. I never would have expected that. And that's a nice surprise. But I'm sticking with them this way. So what I'm going to do is I have these last three blocks that I'm going to stitch together. And then I'm going to put it together in my quilt, and I'll show you what it looks like. But before we get to there, let me just show you what the back of these look like. When I stitched these two together, I put the seam going one way. And when I stitched these two together, let me do it this way. When I stitched these two together, the seam went this way, and these two together, the seam went that way. That way I can nest them right there, and it wouldn't have a problem. They wouldn't have that extra bulk. And then this one, I just went ahead and I pressed it one direction. Now you could probably do the thing where you split the couple stitches out of the center here. You could open it up. You can spin them. To avoid a little bit of bulk, if you press some of your blocks, your seams one way and some of them that way. You get that little 4 patch and you nest the seams. But I like this one, didn't provide too much bulk. It doesn't feel too thick there. We do have a lot of seams, but they're offset with these 2 seams right here, so that worked out really well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stitch these together, and then I'll show you what the finished quilt looks like. So there we go, all finished. It's got the little black X down there in the corner. I think it turned out really well. It is a bit narrower than you would expect, because right now it's only 30 across by 40 down. I don't know, I could always add just a nice little border around it. I can add a thin black border and then maybe put some scraps, or I can just make it a small quilt, because not all quilts need to be huge. Babies come in all sizes, as we all know, so I could just go ahead and leave it at that size and call it done. But I think I will probably at least put a thin black border around it, because where all these points meet, they come right to the edge. So the only problem I can really see is right here. You have everywhere these points are, you have all the seam allowances that just meet together. It is a little bit thick there and a little bit chunky. I would probably have to quilt around that, but that also means that they're right here to the edge, probably maybe 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. So if I went ahead and I put a border on it, it'll make it easier to put the binding on, so that way the binding won't have to be sewn through there. And if I machine stitch the binding, I'd have to sew through that area twice, plus the binding would fold over and cover up these little points. Then all along the edge I'll lose them. While these still have some halfway decent points, I think I'll keep these. So I'll go ahead and add a border around that, and then you'll see it next week in one of in the Talk to Me Tuesday or the Whip It Wednesday video, and see what it looks like. But that's it. Like I said, this is going to be a really quick video this week. I just wanted to show you that. I really like the way it turned out, and I definitely like this block right there. Alright guys, that's it for me. I'll see you next time. Bye!